General elections were again held in St. Kitts Nevis and Anguilla on the 25th of July 1966, resulting again in a victory for the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, which won 7 of the 10 seats. Now, 5 years after general elections were held in St. Kitts Nevis and Anguilla on the 10th of May 1971, again the victory was in favor of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party. Approximately 4.5 years later, general elections were held in St. Kitts Nevis and Anguilla on the 1st of December 1975. The result, once more, was a victory for the St. Kitts Nevis and Anguilla Labour Party, which won 7 of the 9 seats. Early general elections were held on 18th February 1980, which was a turning point in our political history and the history of elections in our country. Because, although the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party won a plurality of seats, the People's Action Movement formed a coalition government with a 1-seat majority, and 3 years later, in 1983, PAM leader Kennedy Simmons, now Sir Kennedy, our only living national hero, became our first Prime Minister. We had early general elections as well, held on the 25th of July 1984. That resulted in a victory for PAM, which won 6 of the 11 seats. General elections were again held early in St. Kitts and Nevis on the 21st of March 1989. The result was a victory once more for the People's Action Movement, which won 6 of the 11 seats. In just over 4.5 years, general elections were held in St. Kitts Nevis on the 29th of November 1993. And no party won a clear majority, my Street Dog family. And what happened? Bottles and stones rained down on Basseterre. Mayhem was caused by a man who was hungry for political power, and we know that man. PAM remained in power for just a little over 18 months after an agreement between both political parties, which was brokered by the St. Kitts Nevis Chamber of Industry and Commerce. General elections were then held on the 3rd July 1995. The St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party won 7 of the 11 seats. Early general elections were held on the 6th of March 2000. Again, Labour won 8 of the 11 seats, all 8. Another early general elections were held in just over 4 years on October 2004. Again, they were won by the Labour Party. It was not until 5 years, though, not until 5 years and 4 months, Douglas announced the general elections that were held on the 24th of January 2010. Yes, 5 years and approximately 4 months. 5 years and approximately 4 months, Douglas held elections on the 25th of January 2010.
In accordance with the writs issued by His Excellency the Governor General, nomination day. Simmer down, simmer down, simmer down. Simmer down, simmer down, simmer down. Simmer down, simmer down, simmer down. Nomination day shall be on Friday, the 15th day of January. And may I continue? That nomination day shall be on the 15th of January 2010. And now, the big announcement. general elections in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis shall be held on Monday, January the 25th, 2010.
Yes, my Straight Dog family. Yes, my Straight Dog family. Remember, Douglas held or called the general elections before 2010, way back in 2004. Then came this historic general elections a little over 5 years thereafter on the 16th of February 2015. The Douglas ruling party was defeated by Team Unity, an alliance of the Concerned Citizens Movement, the People's Action Movement PAM, and the People's Labour Party PLP, led by now our third Prime Minister, Dr. Timothy Harris. So when one reflects on the 15 general elections held in St. Kitts and Nevis since adult suffrage, the elections of 2015 will be dubbed the most historical one in every sense of the word, my Straight Talk family. Prime Minister Harris's ascension to the leadership of our beloved land, I submit, is a biblical prophecy. It's a biblical prophecy, my Straight Talk family, found in the book of Psalms, which reads, and I quote, "The stone which the builders refuse is become the headstone of the corner, as found in the King James Version." In Acts chapter 4, verse 11, the New Living Translation reads, and I quote, "The stone that your builders rejected has now become the cornerstone." Recall my family that it was on the Friday, the 25th of January, when this happened.
I have today asked His Excellency the Governor General to revoke the appointment of the Honorable Timothy Harris as the Minister of Government, and he has acted accordingly, in keeping with the provisions of the Constitution. This action became necessary because of the need to ensure that the government continues to function smoothly and that the investment climate is not unduly affected by the political maneuvering that has become evident in...
Yes, my Straight Dog family. That's on the 25th of January 2013 when this all happened. 5 days later, at 8:35 a.m., then Deputy Prime Minister Sam Condor delivered to the office of the then Prime Minister, Dr. the Right Honorable Denzil Douglas, a letter dated 30th January 2013, therein indicating his resignation from the cabinet of the government of St. Kitts and Nevis. Sam Condor cited reasons such as the developments pertaining to the issues of good governance and constitutional integrity that brought him to the point where he felt constrained to tender his resignation as a member of cabinet with immediate effect. My Straight Talk family. And my Straight Talk family, Sam Condor confirmed his resignation on Voices, which I hosted back then in 2013. I received a copy of a statement you released to the media in respect of your apparent resignation from the cabinet of the government of St. Kitts and Nevis. Can you confirm to the Voices family and to Kittitians and Nevisians in the Federation, and of course those in the Kittitian and Nevisian diaspora across the world, that this information is accurate?
Yeah, that is absolutely true, Patches. After careful consideration, I long had thinking about it and discussing with family and friends and praying about it, actually. I decided that today I would make the decision to resign from the cabinet. I just want to say I resigned from the cabinet. I resigned my portfolios, but I I'll be in Parliament still representing the good people of constituency number 3, and in particular in the country in general. So that is the only thing that I have resigned from. And I intend to contest, to continue to serve once it is the wish of the people and the will of God. I continue to make myself available to serve the people of constituency number 3 and the country in general.
Yes, Sam's resignation on the 30th of January 2013. Denzel Douglas then went on the warpath. Douglas went on the warpath. It was on the 25th of January 2013. And Douglas, he held it for some time. Sam didn't budge, and Douglas went on the warpath by Straight Talk family.
Comrades, so this nonsense about they want to form unity, it is something that was there in them because they grudge and they hate Douglas. A grudge, they grudge. The ungrateful. They don't suck off labor breasts. No wonder they are called them hags.
Yes, he went on the path, warpath. Douglas unleashed his personal attacks like this one on his former deputy of 18 years, Sam Kondo. He said this.
Well, one thing me sure me no kuno muno. One thing I am sure, I don't have to go home and ask any woman at home what to do and come back the next morning and say, well, my view is this and this. And anybody, any leader in this country, in the future in particular, and take it from the maximum leader in the whole Caribbean region. No leader must allow his wife to run the shot for him, because he will be called.
Yes, he will be called, you know what, my Straight Talk family. But before that, he said this about his former colleague and former minister, Dwight Astafan. Remember this, my Straight Talk family.
In 1993, a traitor came on board. Treacherous Dwight Astafan came on board because he realized he could not make it as a lawyer. Fooled our people, got a pension from labor, and then kicked us in our behind. Kicked us in our behind when he done suck off labor breasts.
He even called Dwyer a white man, which never went unanswered, and Dwyer responded in this way, my Straight Talk family.
Douglas doesn't have any moral authority to talk about black and white. As a matter of fact, Dr. Douglas is a green man. He's not a black man, he's a green man. And he's green because you know why he's green, and I'm not going to say.
But you know, my Straight Talk family, Sam Kondo told us many things about Douglas and how desperate he was to get in power. Remember, Sam Kondo said this about Douglas, my Straight Talk family. He was so desperate to get in office that he almost drowned.
After the 1993 election, and the 4-4, Douglas left here in the dead of night to go across to Nevis to try to form a government. Almost drowned. Went in a fishing boat, went into the wrong bay, didn't know it was so deep, and almost drowned. Douglas would have done anything to get into power, and he will do anything to stay into power.
Yes, he was desperate then, and perhaps still desperate today. Sam Kondo also told us that Denzel Douglas never paid his bills, my Straight Talk family.
What I could say to Douglas is that I know that Zambo had given him money, he had loaned him money, and just before Zambo died, there was a meeting between Halva, myself, and Zambo about how he could recover his monies. Halva was supposed to organize a meeting with Zambo and Douglas. Those meetings were organized, but shortly after that, Zambo died, shot to death.
Never paid his bills. To crown it all, my Straight Dog family, Sam Condor warned the country about Douglas when he had this to say as well.
I would not for one moment seek to diminish any good that Dr. Douglas has done during his stewardship, nor should we overlook what I have previously characterized as the flawed management and reproachable leadership. It is my judgment, my humble view, my humble judgment, and the judgment of many, many other criticians and divisions at home and abroad, that he has failed us, all of us, in irredeemable ways. At this juncture, it is my considered view that he's bad for the country.
Yes, that's the view of Sam Condor. He was bad for the country. Sam Condor's wife, Jean Byron Condor, in my view, a lady of steel, defended her husband very well. So, to the cause of the labor movement, Jean Condor defended both.
Oh, my husband is a kunumuno. Well, if he's a kunumuno, well, all of them are. Because all of them have benefited from my advice, from my teachings. All of them. So you see, man, I don't know what you call the female kunumuno. I really don't know the term for that. But all of them have reached out because it was beyond the call. I went out beyond the call of duty because I believed in the cause of the labor movement.
And Jean Condor, the woman of steel, and other stalwarts predicted quite accurately that Denzel Douglas would be the downfall of the Labour Party.
Fitzroy Bryant told me, and not just me, a number of persons are there, that this guy here, that guy there, called Denzel, he's going to be the downfall of the labor movement. Fitzroy Bryant. St. John Payne, who we all know they treated like a dog when he got sick, says, what a mistake we made in bringing this guy here to this movement. He's going to be the end of the organization. Liburd. I mean, Liburd was like, who is this guy that we brought into this organization?
And you know, my Straight Talk family, Denzel Douglas is now in the political wilderness. As he confessed himself, my Straight Talk family, he never expected to be in opposition. He never prepared to leave office, or else he would not have had to do this, my Straight Talk family. He would not have had to do this if he had prepared to move on.
Me ain't stupid, you know. Me ain't leave nothing down there that they're looking for. They must be think me stupid. They must be think that me stupid. Tell them I went down there 4 o'clock in the morning and me take out what me want. They must be think I stupid. They think I stupid. But who's smarter than me? So they could search up and search up and search up, they ain't gonna find nothing.
Yes, my Straight Talk family, Douglas is so desperate to get back into power and pretends that he has changed, but we cannot and we must not be fooled. As one High Court judge called him a stranger to the truth. The Jamaica Observer referred to Douglas as being deceptive. Denzel Llewellyn Douglas is planning to lie his way back into office, but everybody knows this compulsive liar, my Straight Talk family. Everybody knows him very well as well, my Straight Talk family. Everybody knows Douglas.
PM, the man cannot tell the truth. If you beg him, if you hang him, he cannot and will not tell the truth.
Cannot tell the truth. Everybody knows that about Douglas. Young and old know this about Douglas, my straight dog family. Everybody knows Douglas.
Dr. Denzel, liar. Why you have to tell St. Nevis lies? Why you have to tell St. Nevis lies every minute? I cannot understand it, man.
But you know, my straight dog family, just last week we learned something. Prime Minister Harris gave us this insight into Denzel Douglas the liar. I couldn't believe when he said this.
Douglas doesn't care about anyone but himself. And he will tell any lie to get to the end. You know, at time we had an interesting talk. And Douglas told me that I was too honest. I said, but I couldn't tell the man the lie there. He said, a lie is a strategy. That is what he sees lies at. A strategy. He said, you all get this thing about lie. What is a lie? He said, a lie is a strategy. So that is why when you hear him come now, promising you what he couldn't do in 20 years. For the old time, something that want to come back again. A lie is a strategy. Don't let him fool you.
A lie is a strategy. Lying to Douglas is a strategy. So, is it the truth, or is this a lie? A Douglas lie, or is this his strategy, my straight dog family?
God works in a mysterious way. His wonders to perform. Because you see, all of our people are back on board tonight from here in St. Paul. I can say with pride, some conduct back on board. Hear lie! Love I! Hear lie! Love I! The man come back.
Man come back. Is it a lie, or is it his strategy? SKN Newsline's Andrew Hewitt reported this on Friday by Straight Dog Family.
On Thursday night, at a public meeting in St. Paul's, opposition leader Dr. Denzel Douglas announced that former Deputy Prime Minister and a former ally of the Prime Minister, Sam Conda, has returned to the Labour Party. Mr. Conda left the Labour Party and joined with Dr. Harris to form the Team Unity Coalition together with the People's Action Movement. After Team Unity was elected to office, Mr. Conda was appointed an ambassador to the United Nations. It is not certain if Mr. Conda resigned his position.
Not certain if Ambassador Conda has resigned his position. Now the point must be made quite clearly that Sam Conda, like his old Labour comrade Dwyer, is free to do what he wants to do. My Straight Dog family.
I went to a function held by the Labour Party. I go where I want to go. Nobody could tell me where to go. Nobody could tell me what to do or what to say. But nobody gonna dictate to me where I go, who I speak with, who I listen to. So this thing about I made a mistake because I went back to Labour. I went to a function.
And Sam has that same prerogative. He goes where he wants to go. He speaks to who he wants to speak to. But the questions that arise, therefore, are one. Has Sam Conda returned to the Douglas Labour Party? And if not, shouldn't Conda debunk the Douglas lie? 2. If Sam Conda returned to the Douglas Labour Party, shouldn't Conda resign as ambassador of the United Nations? And there are many other questions I'm sure you're asking. Someone sent that to me and asked me to raise those 2 questions tonight, and I did. And with that, my Straight Dog family, I'm going to open the lines. I'm going to open the lines and entertain your calls and your emails. I always like to implore you, though, when I do so in the next couple of seconds that you must respect others. And of course, to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let us try to be fair to all concerned, and let us try to build goodwill and better friendships. Let us make sure the things you say and or do will be beneficial to all concerned, and my Straight Talk family in the process. Let us ensure that in all we say and or do, we will strive to make a kinder and gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. With that said, at 16 before 9, I go to the lines. Caller, you are live. Hello, caller.
Good night, Patrick.
Good night, my brother.
You hear him tape that we're playing tonight?
Mm-hmm.
We have 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Kanda, his wife, and Doya Scafan. When they talk about Douglas, no one you hear Douglas say they read them again. Right? They can't stop unity from progress. You don't take on that. And me don't tell somebody today, me don't tell my friend today, don't take on that. Then that will talk. You understand? Then they can't be trusted. He said Douglas Watling can't do. We don't take on them, man. We don't take on them there. We got unity back. The long time I ain't come to a tongue and meeting, but they come into a third one. Maybe when they reach in your area. I miss the one in Kayan and I ain't going to go all this tongue region. So I'm going to be in your tongue whenever you got yours. I'm going to be in them areas. So you don't take on them, man. Then they're losers, man. Then they can't do nothing.
True.
Then they only talk. Some people for unity fighting, but me don't tell you why fighting for. With so much work that unity done. You got to be crazy people to not put back unity in the office. Like if I could work 6 places because of that, but I don't like them kind of thing. To get back unity, because unity must go back in office. It's a must. And I want to live long. I want to make a call it, because you see people are going every day. When I hear Mr. The Prime Minister in Nevis was saying when he went to the Sunday church business up there, right? And I say, yeah. When he went there and he said, talk about Mark, I said to Michelle, boy, that's a good friend of mine too. You understand? So every day, you know, nobody know who going, eh?
Are they might sell you?
Well, nobody want to go believe they can make get to vote, but if I go and be and I can't vote.
Okay, my brother.
You understand? Yeah, if they send me anywhere, I could come back, I could send back a X from where I live.
Send back a proxy vote.
Okay, all the best, eh?
Nice to hear you, my brother. I haven't heard you for a long time.
Yeah. But are you still know?
Yes,
Why should I hear that announcement with me?
The good lady told me about you on Saturday. Don't worry.
Yeah, man. She said, man. She went to my meeting to my good friend.
Yes, my dear.
All the best.
All the best to you, my brother. We go straight back to the lines at 14 before 9 o'clock. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Oh, you got me? Okay. Good evening, Patrice.
Good evening. You're batting number 2.
I just came from the volcano.
You follow me all around. Why you?
Anywhere you go, brother, I am there with you.
Thank you.
I want to tell you something. There is a scripture in the Bible. When, Patrice, I don't even know how many hundreds of people were there, but it was a great multitude of people. They hold one woman and they carry her up to Jesus. Master, we just catch this woman down there in the act. Not she and a man, she in the act. How could one person commit adultery to themselves? Right away, they show the world and God that none of them better than the woman. Because if I want to say, well, you catch the woman up there, well, you got to say, well, Jesus, we catch she and a man down there doing it. But they carry one woman and the Lord give them the answer. Cool and simple. Which one of you is without sin? Leg the first stone and knock her down because of Moses' law. Not one of them. According to old brother William Monasacano, he used to say, you couldn't see them going Sandy Point for dust, how they take off from Jesus. So saying that to say this, the heart of man is desperately wicked above all things, and they will do anything. When a man is a lawyer, a person is a lawyer, a pathological lawyer. But let me tell you, if they tell me that the sun up there shining bright I will only believe them if Jesus tell me it's true. Because of the record and the reputation of telling lies. A man who desperately want to get back into office, into power like Douglas, as some say in the soundbite, that man is so desperate he will do anything. Douglas will say anything he want to give people the wrong impression that some and all of them come back well. I know for sure. Two of them there. Right there. All your clock. 2 months after election, two of them right there. But for some, Jesus will have to tell me some, go on back there. And I believe that the leader, Douglas, only saying that to see if he could provoke anything between Unity and Sam. But I know better than that. Sam have more pride than that. Sam ain't gonna stoop and make himself go so low. Not with the man there. For what he don't do, Sam, and say about Sam. And all that kind of thing there. And the last thing I want to know, we're not till you come back. Patches, we always tell you that we are watching you back. And all the other ministers back. We are watching you all back. That is up in your constituency. When people doing things, and people must learn to hush. You walk with your mouth shut and do what you have to do. Only you and God know what you're going to do. There is a lady up in your constituency banging she mouth all over the place. I'm not gonna, you know the 4-letter word. I'm not gonna use that 4-letter word. Vote for Patches. What he gonna do? He gonna give up some houses up in the town in about 2 to 3 weeks, and I don't understand. I'm going to get one. I'm going to take my key, and I will not dish your tower vote for he. I'm a labor, and I'm going to stay labor, and I'm going to make sure he ain't getting in there. And that person, everybody in your tongue, have to keep their eyes out, watch that individual, because it is bad when people thief from the living, but it worse or when they thief from the dead. An individual just passed away a couple months up in your tongue, and right away, that individual went and thief the person can when they threw on the ground, but the fowl could not commit the calm because the fowl passed away. So and they're walking, banging them out all over the place, out Patches. Man, I'm gonna make sure he get out of office. I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna take his house, he disappear our house, and I'm gonna vote for him. So Patches, watch your back. Be careful who come and show you the teeth and smile. Delilah went to Samson and she smiled and tickled him all over, and he smiled back too. Wow, boy, Samson never know what you want to do to him. That is what you call betrayal. Okay. So keep your head on. I'll be back, Patches.
Thank you for your input. We go straight back to the lines. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Good night.
Good night, my dear.
Patches, good night.
Good night.
Lord, good night. Concentrate everything on my mouth I want to say. I will have to see some to believe that with them. And some kind of man will come out and but I don't let you say not going to say what he want nothing to do with Timothy nor Unity. I correct me for wrong. So this is just to distract people. I will have to seek some kind of evidence to believe that. But some man will come out and blast out, and he only doing that because some kind of he will come out and blast him. That's why he do it. So I don't take on that. Because I don't know what I'm going back home to. Just waste of time. Patches, they're saying, change. If I want to tell you, don't change. I'm going to song to sing, Don't change. That's a damn thing for Douglas again. Okay? So, people, just stay focused. Keep your eyes on the prize. Don't blink. Next election. Unity again. Actually, I want to sing a song, but I need it next time. You got a tune,
Yeah.
You want me to sing it now? Eh?
At your will, my dear. You want some music?
Eh?
Go ahead.
I ain't got music, but...
Let me hear you. Go ahead.
If a bus, I want name that.
Okay.
Don't change. You better don't change. Like a damn seat. Douglas again. You better hold on to what you got. You don't know what you're gonna get. You take the country to the IMF. You need to come and pay off the debt. So we're doing better than the rest.
Yes.
You better don't change. Don't change. not a damn seat for Liburd win. We take our country to the IMF, unity come and pay off the debt. We do no better than the US. That is, when I say, you will say that's a change. New houses, that's a change. Cruise ship pier, that's a change. The old road bay, that's a change. More money in the pocket, that's a change. More tourists, that's a change. So don't change the change. Next election is unity again. Harris again.
Harris again.
Thank you.
Give you a wonderful round of
That ain't the food song, but I just hear the repeat.
Okay, that's a
I'm killing it better.
That's a warm up. Don't let King Rockefeller hear your music. Don't let King Rockefeller hear you. Don't let King Rockefeller hear your lyrics. Do not allow Rockefeller to hear your music or your sounds. Okay? Have a nice
I good night. I save some of the change already, okay? Don't change the change, please.
Have yourself.
Good night,
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Cry in the house. Caller, you alive. Hello, caller.
Hey, good morning. I'm Patrick, sorry. Good night.
You're having a wonderful day, man.
Boy, I'm getting a feeling with all what you're hearing now, boy.
What's on your mind, my brother?
You know, when I listen to the former Prime Minister and all the things he said about Sam, I will have to hear it from Sam to believe that he really gone back with Labour under the present leadership. Because, man, I mean, you call him a kunumono, and yet he's going to still go back with the party, with that man as leader. Boy, I look now, I like Sam. I think he's my good partner. And until I hear Sam say he's back with Labour, I ain't gonna believe that. I really ain't gonna believe that at all. I mean, I hear it all over the place. The other night when I heard him say that he lied and so forth, to me, he was more or less using the term that Sam always used. But for Sam to go back there, boy, that is, let me continue to listen to the program. I probably may call it independent or whatever he said, but I had to hear that from Sam himself to believe such a thing. Okay.
Okay, my brother.
Okay.
Well, one thing me show me no kuno mono.
We go back to the lines, my Straight Talk family. Call you live.
Good night to the Honorable Ian Pattis Labour. Good night.
My dear brother, Mr. Politics. Good night, sir.
Pattis, when I listen to the Labour leader and when I see them on Church Street, so they protesting, blowing bell. Pattis, well, they have nothing at all as far as I can, so, you know. Because we're hearing for a Labour opposition in this country is a really a disgrace to the people, the educated supporters and those who really into the politics and not politics. But it is a real disgrace to them. You understand? No, they up and down about ring bell, and they have nothing. The fact is, if we really got to set on the election to the extreme, fact is, maybe in the next 2 months they have a party, you know, maybe the party will just disappear because they have nothing. They tell a march they try to gun. Look at the crowd. The political meeting, look at the crowd. Because the man is embarrassing one people every day. Especially people in number 6. When you go on the political platform, especially some people who die hard labor in the diaspora. I sure those people, even if they come in and play come vote, paying the money to vote. That is the way the unity government performing right now. I believe that those people come and vote for the unity government. Because their family members getting help, the children getting help, the grandchildren getting help. And they're seeing the sunshine out of the unity government. You understand? They're seeing real upliftment in the unity government. Patches, I call in and make good people in number 3, you know. Because I say 7-1. And I hope the Honorable Sam Kanda, who I got a lot of respect for, listening to the bad in him. And I calling him to jump on board again with this unity to support he makes in law. Support her. Because unity not form the government again. And in constituency number 3, you know, we always, anytime a different government in, a new government in, where the constituency number 6 or constituency number 3 are always opposite. But we want representation, and we want representation by your niece in-law. And I believe she will do a wonderful job in number 3, as the representative when she gets elected. Patricia, have a wonderful night. God bless.
Have a wonderful night as well, my dear brother. It's now 2 minutes before the 9 o'clock hour. And remember, Douglas never expected this, he said.
In the last elections, we suffered a terrible loss. We were in shock and disbelief. We never expected that we would be in opposition after a spirited campaign.
Never expected. So what he does, he uses his lies as a strategy. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Yes, namesake, good evening.
Namesake, how are you?
How you do, sir? Well, I'm doing pretty good.
I am peaceful.
But you know what? I happy to hear you play back all those tapes, because you see, when you play back tapes, you bring back memories. And I want to say to the good people of St. Kitts and Nevis that we should not be like the children of Israel, leaving to go to the promised land and turn back. Otherwise, you're going to end up, our last state will be worse than the first. Because if we allow a man like Denzel to come back, to put his hand in our treasury again, it's going to be woe be unto the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. You know what? Because when you got a man spend money like a drunken sailor and wreck the country, run the ship of state on the reef, mash up the bottom, break off the shaft of the engine, break off the rudder, and then want to go back. Now the ship is back afloat, well painted up, brand new engines, brand new tiller, brand new shaft, and go put back that drunken sailor to be the captain again. Something that will be wrong with the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. It seems like we are going down a dangerous road. And if the people could only make that mistake, I tell you, we'll be in the gall of bitterness. But I want to say to the good people of St. Kitts and Nevis, keep the ship of state floating. And we are heading forward ever, backward never. Because to go back is death. To go forward is life. And I want to say to them, keep the hands and the eyes and the throttle and keep looking forward. Don't look back. Because when you try to start look back, you're going to lose consciousness, and you're going to start to say, boy, people are behind that do good. But this country is doing well with our leader, the best leader, Sir Kennedy, the best leader to ever take reign of power in St. Kitts and Nevis is Dr. Timothy Harris. And because we had a man who knows to manage money, the country is running for 5 years without going to any bank, anywhere in the world, to borrow any money to run the country. So I'm saying, never we go back to the IMF, or we go begging. God forbid. So you have a good night, and I'm here listening, and I'm firing up on all 12 cylinders tonight. Not even 4, but 12, because I'm ready for the election. Have a good night, brother. Keep on doing what you're doing. Continue to play those clips that people could remember what happened 2015. God bless you. Have a good one.
God bless you as well, my dear brother. Yes, you spoke about the people, the children of Israel. They never did flee the promised land, at least not in the form of the entire nation. At 3 before or 3 after 9 o'clock, I go back to the lines. Caller, you live. Hello, caller. Okay. You know, we have to remember that it's the same old party, the same old leader, and the same old policies. Why are we going back? Never before has any government performed as well as your team, Unity Government, in its first term of office. That is historical. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Greetings, Mr. Patches. How are you?
I am peaceful, my brother. Greetings as well. Yourself?
I'm very good, man. Very good. Very constructive program as usual.
Thank you, sir.
I'm glad to hear your sound bites tonight and the order in which you play them. Very good. I show when I listen your sound bites, I said, boy, that's what I said to myself, because just how you play your sound bites, that's how I had some meditation today. So when I hear you with those sound bites, I say, wow, boy, Patches must be smoking the best weed, boy, because you're so positive with what you're doing. This is just a late moment, because you're on with those sound bites, brother. And you got to be a man with a clear conscience to be thinking so positive. I'm glad to hear the callers, and even those who ain't calling have so much sense of pride still for Mr. Sam Kondo. I myself withhold my reasoning on that, because he have nothing to lose in this country the way how he is now. He held former party. The party is in office. The lady who representing or who is invited for that seat, she vowed in her maiden speech some time back that she will conquer the seat for PLP on behalf of Sam Kondo. So, if you help former party and the party is in office, what you have to lose? You have nothing to lose. If you have some disagreement with something, and you still want to be active in politics, you go and form your own party. That's why so many persons are saying they prefer to hear if that is true, yes or not. That's how much people still have so much credibility in Sam Kondo. Because remember the Bible saying a good name is better than riches. So you'd have to hear what else that would be of that. Mr. Patches, in the House of Assembly the other day, when the Prime Minister made a comment to the public concerning the former Prime Minister brother and some official duties that he may have held. I would like for the future, when there's another House of Assembly, the Prime Minister enlighten the public somewhat on some of those reasoning. Because it should be of protocol why somebody would get a duty-free vehicle. And I was saying, when the Prime Minister said what he said, and the opposition leader get up and try to debunk that, I was saying, because I was watching it, I was saying she should have explained to the country then what is what. Because he can't go on as though he ain't got an explanation for anything concerning the government business. Because he is the man who didn't face a no confident motion. And that confident motion will be able to show the people of the country and of the world how he really oversees the people country, So I for one thought he should have been a little, instead of just debunking it, say really, okay, my brother wasn't this, but my brother was this or that or that. Because somewhere along the line, I feel everybody know some kind of official business he held. So sometimes, for we, if we're going forward as a people, we got to change our ways. The Bible says we must be born again. And to be born again into lamb and holy and dip in water, It should change those old ways that we have and try to make it much better. Because if we say so many young people is amongst us, what are we going to practice? Because, you see, the young gen of labor, they're not showing the strength that none of them amongst themselves have the authority and the command to lead the party into an election and be victorious to govern the country. If you are not showing that strength, how can you govern the country of St. Kitts and Nevis when the elders was there, like Sam Conde and others, and the people also know that he was carrying the country down the wrong road? That's why the people put him where he is today, you know. Is the people have him there? The people is the boss of this country, you know. Not the elected leaders, is the people. Is who put you in and take out. And the people have you there. How you as a young man no one come here and say, why no, the people them need know what they're doing. And agreeing with whatever the boss do to the country. Because that's what they're showing us, you know. They agree with everything Douglas do to the country when he was all running the country. So, I don't understand. They got to show more strength than that. In my book. And if you with a party was in office for 20 years and lost, and there is no reform done, how are you going to tell me you could govern the country with that state of mind? Mr. Patrick, you continue to be good and stay cool. Oh, one last thing. Did the opposition in the last House of Assembly vote on the bill? The marijuana bill, did they vote on it? I was looking for the speaker to even go on with the vote, you know.
Well, we would have had to ask for a division, really.
Yeah, I was looking for somebody to do that, to tell you the honest truth. To me, in my book, the speaker does govern the House Assembly with authority. He does it well. Take care, Mr. Patches.
Thanks for that. Take care yourself, my dear brother. Always like your interventions. We go straight back to the lines at 10 after 9. Caller, you live. Hello, caller.
Good night, Mr. Patches again.
Good night,
Mr. Patches, the same one who was talking when he went to a function. I hear somebody with a clip, you know. Remember, he was calling the Labour Party Douglas puppy. And if Bradshaw come out, he agree what he will do. You have the clip? You ever hear it?
Sure. Yes, I do.
Well, I will. If you have it, I would like you to play it. And I just telling Sam Conde to be strong. Remember when there was against you, we was rallying behind you and trying to keep you strong. All in us, you were doing anybody run over you and take you for granted because they feel like you're a humble man. They want to say things when you ain't doing, but I will have to see it to believe it. So, Mr. Conde, we love you. Be strong. Love I, yes I, here I. Love you still. Bye.
There we go, straight back to lines at 11. Call at 11 past 9 o'clock. You're live.
The Patrice Christian, we did land for that swap. The Prime Minister then come on and say, some land here, and I think Shani did make a comment about it too. Because I listened to a lady on a next different radio talk show last week, and she saying she don't know what's going on. It look like this is same all. Because nobody coming on and saying what the land for this land, and who this land going back into, and all these things. So, I believe I listen to the Prime Minister, and he says some land is standing point, and I think some other places. It's a very clear package. You could please tell them, because I'm sure the lady is listening, because she's saying that it is same all. You understand? And Patrick, before I go, I just want to wish my condolences to Brother Mac and his family. Want to wish condolences to his family. You know, passed away so sudden. Brother Mac is a friendly guy. To be truthful, when he was a Labour man, Douglas, and I was a PAM, men used to write back and forth on the radio. But Patches, anytime we meet together, we hug one another. And we begging for each other. So that's the kind of person he was. He make enemies like some people for politics with you. And Brother Mac, I want to wish you all the best, brother. You know your past. I love you a lot as a person. You're a man anyway. You're going to make yourself up, and you always got a conversation. And I just want to respect you. If you're married, I want to respect your wife and your children. Them want to wish them all the best. In good health and good strength, and I hope that things might work out for them in the future. And to my good friend Cubby up here in the village too. as a partner, as the wife Gloria. Gloria as fast, the black pudding lady there and Wrigley Avenue. Want to wish Cubby all the best and show a medal. My daughter, want to wish them all the best with my sympathy to them. I heard that announcement, I don't know when she got down, but I will let her that announcement to be there to she funeral because she was a really nice lady to me. Patrice, you have a wonderful night again. God bless.
Have a wonderful night as well. I'll try and find that soundbite, but I believe I recall the government, your team in the government has redeemed some 400 acres of land. I suspect what you're talking about, as they never understood it. Now, Douglas had swapped our land for the debt he owed to the National Bank. The National Bank had to be in what is called a bankable position, in that they loaned money to the government to run several crops. And the very last crop in 2005 was some $60 million borrowed from the National Bank to run that crop. Of course, you had to pay back the bank's money, and then the bank had to be the bankable positions. You had to get some collateral for the monies owed, and some 1,200 acres of land, I think, was mortgaged by the government. Of some 14 or 400 acres have been redeemed, so to speak. In other words, the government, your team in the government, has paid the bank for that land, and that land is now back in the hands of the people. A woman said she's confused, reads this email, because she heard about arbitration and cost overrun. And the minister, there is no cost overrun. The minister said there is no cost overrun. Woman, Dwyer is the one who got you confused. Dwyer is saying things that he conceived, things he made up, a whole pack of lies that is unsubstantiated. On the other hand, the minister has all the facts, and he has articulated categorically that there is no cost overrun at all. So who are you going to believe? The man who was just imagining, speculating, and guessing things like Dwyer, or the other minister who has all the facts? I choose the latter. Read this email. We go back to the lines. Caller, you're live at 9:15. Hello, caller. Are you there, caller?
Hello, yes. Yes, good evening, Mr. Liburd.
Good evening, my brother.
Yeah, this is Boris from West Farm, constituency 3.
How about that?
Right? I heard you play the clip with Douglas talking about Sammy's back. I heard it myself before that time. Okay? But I am not going to say anything yet in terms of with Sam. But what I will say this though. I could recall last year, June, Sam called me by his house over in Frigate Bay. We had a conversation. He told me we had to talk and stuff, and we had a conversation. And one of the things we talked in the conversation, one of the things Sam told me then, that we have to make sure that Douglas do not get back in power, because Douglas cannot change, right? So I am not shocked, because the lawyer, the judge said the man is a stranger to the truth. But sometimes you hear people talk, and you might accuse them of not saying talking the truth, and then something else could be different. Sam also told me then in the conversation that we got to work hard to get rid of Conway's, because Conway's just like his father, contender. Right? And he told me, I asked him, what about Akila? Are you going to support Akila? He told me he's going back to the UN after the music festival, and when he come back, he's going to talk to the people, and if Akila and the people want him to help, he would help. So now I would like to hear, I want to really hear if Sam can tell us here in Constituency 3, and more specifically the people here in West Farm, Boys and Palmetto Point, who always got Sam back and get a lot knocked out too, and was victimized because we stood up with Sam all the time. We didn't turn him down.
Well, that was in June, you said last year.
Huh?
That was in June last year.
Last year.
That's about 8 months ago.
Yeah, last year he told me that at his house. I was at the new house he has in Frigate Bay, where he's living presently. We was there Sunday afternoon, right? He telling me that we can't think Douglas cannot change. So I'm not gonna bless him thing. I'm just gonna sit back and wait.
Okay.
Because we don't here get a lot of victimized. Because we decide wherever Sam go, we going with him. Right?
Okay.
And if that is gonna happen, we know if Sam now say if that is true that Sam going with Douglas, it mean that Sam like he's spitting with face down here. But I'm gonna wait. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Patience is a virtue, I said, you know. That's one thing that's unavoidable is change. You either change for the good or you change for the bad. Douglas has changed for the worse.
Not a thing happened here. If it was the old Douglas, you know what I would have said? Not a damn thing. But Douglas changed. Douglas knew. Douglas is part of the next gen escape with branded Labour Party. People like Lindsey Grant, Lindsey Shorters Grant. Sorry, Douglas changed. Now when I get too high, you tell me, simmer down, simmer down, simmer down.
Same old Douglas, same old party, will come with the same old policies. Caller at 19 after 9 o'clock, you're live.
Good night, good night.
Good night, my dear.
And how are you?
Sister, I
Oh,
am
my
always
brother,
better
I'm
when I hear you.
okay. I'm okay. I am so glad that you're clean. I was trained. Anyway, what I called to talk about tonight is that my government doing so well. And I want to congratulate the government for what they are doing. You drive up Keran, coming from over the river, the bed, from Bernard Phipps, come up there, where they have the sidewalk building. That a boasting sidewalk. Nothing could be better than that for Keran right now. Coming up there, people are used to be squeezing in, vehicle going back and forth. And my visionary government thinking about the people, the pedestrian on the street, the sidewalk. Government doing good. We have a prime minister with preacher. He understands the poor people. He comes from a poor background and he don't forget because he's looking after everybody. The poor, the small, the middle class, the fun people. And nobody with no way. The way is just a distraction. Just a distraction. We got to remain focused and make sure that the government stay in power. We're going to back in power and I defend now, then be. And I hope so. This is definitely. We coming with 7 seats, if not 8. Right here in St. Kitts. And me is coming with a 3. So they could plant, they could bounce like a wind ball, and they will bounce like a sponge because sponge don't have nothing, no value. Anything like sponge, no good. No bother with them. Don't bother with them. Country running good. Country running good. Sometimes when you look, if we honest to ourselves, to see how the country started. Lord, when Timothy Harris was about to give up labor, everybody, I hear Timothy come with Harry, I hear Timothy come down with labor. Every man was happy. Every man was glad that he giving up the wicked man called Douglas. Could you imagine what's going on right now? Douglas is in St. Paul's going house to house campaign. He never do that in his life. That is what he doing. So all the way around the show and this happening and that happening, I'm frightened. Grudge the grudge. They can't get back there. They cannot get back there. They're done with it. And again, I have to talk about my sidewalk. That sidewalk coming up there from over the river to the side of the road there, coming up after we thought Lois Gums used to live. Right in the corner there. Lord, I welcome it. I love it. Sometimes I go walking at mornings and you reach down there, and you got to scream that the vehicle will hit you. But you have something to step on now. And it's off the road. You step up and you're on the sidewalk. It's a boasting sidewalk. I love it. God bless the unity government. God bless every one of you. And I'm going to keep praying. Jesus will deliver us out of the hand of the wicked. He don't do it, and he ain't going to put us back there. You understand?
Yes, my dear sister.
I would like you to have a pleasant night. Safe journey home. And take care of yourself. Your people love you. You love them. Good night.
Good night, my dear. I love them more, I can tell you. Thanks for your intervention, my street talk. Someone asked me for this, my street talk family.
Genocide have interest in unity. Genocide have no dignity, and they certainly don't have no integrity. Don't care what they call themselves. Many of you have admitted to me that Marcel is a waste of time. But some of you who tell me she's a waste of time say, well, I said labor, so I still have to vote for labor. Let me tell you something. The Labour Party died long ago. This is not a Labour Party. This is Douglas Puppy. And you know which was he like and who was he like.
Douglas Puppy, 9:25. We go back to the lines. Call you live.
Hey, Patrick, how you doing?
I am peaceful, sir.
I got a question for you. You know Timothy Hill to be a structure of a lion?
Structure of a lion?
Yeah, like to have a face on the front of it. You know, like if you were coming from Nevis and going to St. Kitts. When you look at that hill, you could see, like, you know, the face of something that was there.
No, not, I haven't observed that, my dear brother. I have not observed that.
All right, look. You know, when we get to sit together, right, they got some photos. I think I put a couple up on Facebook. Where the tunnel is in the butt of that lion that I'm telling you about. Anyhow, if you know my name, you can access my Facebook post. You'll see them.
Okay, my dear brother. Thanks for your input.
All right.
Will do, my brother. Thank you for that intervention there. Caller, you are live. Hey, the caller?
Hey, hello. I'm Patrick Meyer. I was dialing like hell to get in.
I'm happy.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, man.
I am peaceful, my brother. Yourself?
The other day, when I saw you, when we ran to each other, you look so fresh and good, man. You could see the grace of God walking on your hand.
Yes, he is.
You and the leader and the others who are over there. I mean, not that you don't worry over them, but you know where you're focusing on. And you know you have the full support of us. Irrespective of what they say. Team unity is way ahead. Way ahead. They don't even know what to say. They don't sometimes one or two persons, when I walk where they are, they just start crossing me, but I can just smile. I tell them I go and hug them now. Well, women in particular, not men. I don't hug men. Anyway, a few weeks ago you had this gentleman, this engineer, architect, wherever he was, to talk about the pier and the old road there. He answered questions about that, right?
Yeah, from Jamaica.
Yeah. I'm so surprised last Friday. Female caller called into, I think it's been FM, and was asking some questions which I know were answered already. The mischief maker who makers who talk about cost overrun. They never and they dress up the arbitration in a kind of way. You know, they say it's not sensible like how Mr. Warner said it. You know, well, I know what arbitration about. It's all about. And he said how we can cost so much per hour, and they got that kind of money and frightening as if, well, the country has a crisis. It's just that if somebody sign a contract to do something for you, you're paying them, you got a term set out, both sides can agree. So if they ain't deliver what you pay them for, you can't pay them off. No, you can't do that. Both sides supposed to be satisfied. That's what it's supposed to be all about. And I was surprised that this female caller didn't hear all of that when the gentleman from Jamaica was explaining. He even talk about he had sometimes studying in Germany. And when you study in Germany, it's something special as far as I know. Because the Germans are so good at engineering, advanced engineering. And he went on to talk about the kind of equipment that could be used to cut away the rocks and so forth. And I know a whole heap of information. So I can't understand. But they allow themselves to be gobbled up by the mischief makers saying when both of them are on. And I don't know people let that to happen to them. And so they make some people feel kind of skeptical about the election coming, but they need not to fear. They could see the results. The unity government cares about people. They care about people. Otherwise, they would have been paying the PAP, the poverty assessment program. The people get $500. I just want to repeat something. I was sitting outside the development bank sometime in late last year. And sometime last year. And I saw a woman come there and she started looking at the treasury building. Because I normally be gossiping with people like that. And every time I look towards her, she looked towards me. As if she wanted people to go, but they did go. And then she grabbed on by me and she asked me, when are they going to pay the money? I said, well, no announcement came on the radio to my knowledge as yet. But I believe it would be Saturday. So it might be, they're going to announce where. But that is, the woman first set up in a kind of way that if she ain't get the money, it's like her face going to burst. But I have to explain to her. I said, well, remember they just started and they done got some hiccups, so they got to get them straightened up. Eventually, he can be on time. And she couldn't thank me more. She said me, all right, I'm on this note. When I saw her next time, she said, yes, just like you told me. So they could say what they want, because I hear this mischief maker say, if you get $500 from the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, it makes you poorer. I know 5 and 1 make 6, but 6 and 5 make 11. So I can't say it could be less off or worse off if you get more. I don't think they want to see the people below a certain level be lifted up, because when they lifted up, they're going to be thinking a certain way. And you can't fool them like how they're trying to do. So I don't know where you get a kind of mathematical equation from. 5 and where you get, if you get in 500 a month, then you get 500, that's 1,000. And you've got to be better off, you better able to pay some of your bills, etc., etc. And then the money that, the money there coming back in the country and in the economy, because you're going to pay your electric light bill, water and all them things there, cable and so forth. So you're storing up more activities. So the money in itself, wherever more government pay out in a month, is pouring economic activities. So how come that can't do it? And they're wondering if it could be sustained. I'm going to be now. I'm coming now. But when the World Cup people come here to play cricket, they tell you how much economic activity that expenditure created. Music festival, the same thing. But why these $500 per person? Why that can't stir up economic activities? They fully know they could fool. But people learning, and thank God to community government. May you all live long, be well, and be good, and continue the good work that you're doing. And look how much you're involved with the people. Information in the law. Not to tell us peace or what they want. Mr. Patrick, I could say you all night and talk and talk and talk, but let me give way to somebody else. Have a good night and take care of yourself again.
Have a good night, my dear brother. Always good to hear you. And just to inform the nation that, in fact, the contract signed between SCASPA and the CCC, Canadian Commercial Corporation, allows for arbitration. Remember, at one time, the former minister said you're going to get a quarter pay, but all the construction had to be done, and the construction was done. The fact that there are some claims does not necessarily follow that these claims would be paid. That's what arbitration is all about. You can speculate anything, my dear brother. The fact is, it's gone to arbitration because the claims were denied. Mr. Liburd, sir, reads this email. I am a resident of McKinley Heights for several years now. I have pleaded to the Labour government to concrete that road which runs back of OJ's to McKinley. I spoke to the representatives for Labour, past and present, and nothing was done. At one time, one of them told me I should ask Al Powell because she has a number of apartments in the area. I will not tell you what I thought then. However, I spoke to Senator Byron Nisbet about the said road and was promised she will work on it. And within a matter of weeks, the road has started and soon to be completed. I want to publicly thank the Senator for a job well done and to say you will get my ex when the time comes. And I want to encourage all residents of McKinley to vote for her because she is, in my book, will be a remarkable representative for constituency number 3. Again, I say I'm grateful to you, Senator, for a quick job well done. Caller, let's take this other caller. Caller, you alive.
Greetings in the name of our great African ancestors, especially the most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey and Queen Enzing. A blessed evening, my beloved African brother. How are you and your family?
Peaceful, my dear brother. You and yours?
Good, beloved. Good, beloved. Now, beloved brother, and I hear this nonsense, these devils going around in this, ridiculous sloganeering. But it's just ridiculous. You see, brother, you get an old saying, a drowning man or a woman will grab at a straw in the middle of any ocean, beloved brother. So, the guy from St. Paul, this is his last dance politically. And he will say anything to get back in there. But, brother, let me tell him and those idiots who are following him, because that's what they are, beloved brother, because nobody in the right frame of mind and nobody who is patriotic, people loving and people caring, including my immediate family, beloved brother, will follow people like them, beloved brother, and leave what this peace loving, people caring, patriotic administration? No, beloved, no. That can't happen. People of St. Kitts Nevis, the nationals of St. Kitts Nevis and the residents who live there, beloved brother, very intelligent people and who love people and who care about people, and they will not go back to that hog mud, beloved brother, that they had there for 20 years, from 1995 to 2015. But then nobody, no one in the right frame of mind will leave this, man. Tranquility, peace, loving thing has returned to the Federation, beloved brother. The upliftment, forward movement, forward thinking people in that administration, beloved brother, who care about our elders and our children, beloved brother. We'll go back to that now. Brother Patches, you all have done a miraculous job, beloved brother, especially you, the Prime Minister, Mark Brandley, Lindsay, Sean, Brother Hamilton, brother, the whole thing. Oh, brother, we must complete the mission. And the mission is, brother, is to get all 11. I know 6. You know that thing, but that's for another time. So let me say 10 out of 11 seats, beloved brother. 7 on St. Kitts and all 3 on Nevis, beloved brother. And especially, man, the young Sister Byron Nisbet and brother Powell, beloved brother. I need people to come out for every one of the candidates, especially those 2 young people, beloved brother, especially Sister Nisbet, man. Sister, brother, I believe she will. No, I know, not believe. I believe is not no surety. I know she will do a great job. Brother John L. too, beloved. So I want, man, all people to come out, encourage our young voters, man, who first-time voters, young brothers and sisters, hear me and hear others. Come out, register to vote, and on that day, young sisters and brothers, you have no other choice. This is your future. You are the now generation, the future, the present leaders, and the future leaders of our beloved country, your beloved country. And do the right things and vote for all the candidates under the umbrella of the Team Unity movement. But Apache, I know someone else want to speak. So my beloved brother, keep up the great works. The entire administration, beloved brother. Don't worry about those people, man. Because when you are doing great things, people have nothing else to say, beloved brother, because out of envy and jealousy, brother, and you are more intelligent, we have more intelligent people in this administration than those on the other side, beloved brother, and who love people, who have a vision and have demonstrated that vision for the past 5 years. And it's going to even get better, beloved brother, in the next 5 years. Yeah. Next 5 years, next 5 years, next 5 years, okay, brother, down the road, beloved brother. So again, beloved brother, keep up the great works. Your entire administration, Pan-Africanism, our parish, continue to listen. One love, my beloved brother.
One love, my brothers. Well, I have been listening to the news report about the so-called march last Friday. I noticed that the news editor played a number of clips of persons who spoke on the platform, but nowhere in the report was there a mention of how many people were in the march. It is easy to conclude that this news editor who had to run from the BBC is operating with ulterior motives with his news broadcast. Look how many times he brought on the news item about the Nevis Premier and two salary issue, a matter that was already being tested in the Nevis Island elections and failed to give NRP the government. What is this man really up to? Read this email. As we wind down, I'll be on the downhill side of tonight's program.
Thank you very much.
You're live.
Yeah, thank you very much. I refer to such journalists as CD journalists. A CD can only play on one side. That is, I want to agree with my good brother there from up the village, the Rasta, when he said that since the farmer leader, or he's farmer anyway, all over, since he gone say that the Prime Minister Harris must take back that, when he said in Parliament that he brother got a duty-free vehicle, and he ain't debunk it, all he stressing on take back that, you have to take back that. Well, I want all those who believe in he, like an earthly God, when next Parliament and Prime Minister Harris have to bring up that again, that he brother got a duty-free vehicle, and the Prime Minister present the evidence in black and white to the Speaker, well, everybody can see now how much a lawyer he is. Because, remember what the judge tell him? Stranger to the truth. And them, they're sensible people, good hearing people, they hear all what the judge tell him and all what everybody tell him and what he do to this country and they're still holding on. Let me tell you something, brother. With all the progress in this country that this government has done and is doing and will be doing in the future, they know they don't have no fault with the government for not performing. Performance is what counts. It counts, and the government is performing, so they have nothing to say. Everything is going good. Look at Hollywood. Look at Hollywood, Hangman Road, brother, down there killing people. Look at the Island Main Road. Look at all the different infrastructure. Look at the long pier where the Purple Ocean doctor said shark infested waters. Everybody running on the sea water going for years. Well, where the shark them, they just come now because the pier bill. Patches, I want to tell those, you who supporting the culprit, you're worse than the culprit. They have nothing to say, nothing to do, no fault to find. But hear this. He talk about the jamming and the fighting too. He talk about the limbo dancing and the boogaloo. He talk about the break dance and the cha-cha-cha. But look, he ain't telling me that he know who killed the Rasta. Good night, Patrice. Have a safe drive home here.
Have a good night as well, my dear brother.
Thank you.
At 16 before 10 o'clock, this email reads, Patches, if what Douglas said of Sam rejoining his ranks is untrue, then he should by now make a public broadcast denying the statement. In the absence of such, we have to take it as true. Read this email. We go back to the lines. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Yes. Trying to get in on Straight Talk.
Yes, you are on Straight Talk. Caller?
Yes.
You are live on Straight Talk. The whole world is listening to you.
Good evening, Mr. Liburd.
Good evening, sir.
And good evening to the listeners from abroad. Carl Brown here.
Okay, Carl.
Mr. Liburd, don't worry your head about the opposition. What you all must be happy about is the performance of the unity government. And your performance are speaking. So campaigning is on, campaign on what you have done. Not on what who promising and who looking forward and trying to get in. We all know it. Home and abroad know it, that unity will government with extended speed. There is no doubt about that. Now, on performance, 2016, 2018, houses were distributed in Pine Garden, Chadwell. Pine Garden, Chadwell, in that short time, performance by the unity government have the road. Performance by the unity government, a representative for about 11 years. Chadwell New Road have their LED bright light. And the old Chadwell Road is being prepared right now to get the LED bright light. 2 wells have been discovered in Chadwell. And they are now setting up on the water system to distribute water. And talking about that, you remember last year and the last couple of years you hear a lot of noise about desaying on the water. We're not to hear that. I haven't heard nobody complaining about water problems for quite a while. Performance by the unity government. So, Mr. Liburd, don't worry our head. Are you being performing? Election will remain the same. Unity in government still. And I must say thanks to you and your staff, thanks to General Powell and all the constituency in Pine Garden who rallied you and Honorable Minister Hamilton to get what Pine Garden have. Pine Garden is looking excellent. And the other places, houses being given out, people are being happy, people are shaking the seas. Lands are being given out, jobs have been provided, extra money have been provided. No worry, Mr. Liburd, I'm gone.
Thank you for your input.
And watch your back. Be careful of those in your constituency.
Yes, my dear brother.
be careful of who you're giving out houses to, because they're going around saying they're going to send people for the clip and they're taking a picture with you all. Are gone.
Have a good night, my brother. We go back to the lines at 12 before 10 o'clock. Caller, you live. Hello, caller.
Everybody out there in Radio Land, and good evening, Servant Ian Patches Liburd. How are you doing tonight?
I am peaceful, my dear brother. I'm guiding you by the rules of brevity.
I told you to cut me off.
Okay.
And I mean it.
Okay.
And everybody out there, I'm sure that they hear it. I won't get mad.
Okay.
But I have to tell you tonight that my list of heroes has gotten considerably shorter in the last 5 years. I'm happy to report, however, that you are still one of my shining heroes, Servant Minister Ian Patches Liburd. And I mean it. Darkness and light cannot harmoniously cohabitate. Ye are the light of the world. Servant Minister Ian Patches Liburd, keep on shining out your light, my brother, dispelling and scattering the forces of darkness as you go. And to the families and friends of the late Billican, our local hero till death and posthumously, we wish you our sincerest condolences in this moment of your grief. You're not alone. You're never alone. And to Mac, no dead and cold, but whose loving and precious influences will endure in our hearts forever. To the surviving families, we want you to know that you're not alone. Lennox, thanks for teaching me how to live. Now, Servant Ian Minister Patches Liburd, I want to apologize for failing you in the Keon Community Center. One would think that in 10 years as a chronic drunk, scores of people would have stories of things I did that were scandalous. The opposite holds true. The stories of my sustained conduct in terms of transactions are irreproachable and laudable. One would think that my intellectual acumen would protect me from falling into the trap of the enemy, which was a strategy of distraction, and they triumph. In 10 years, people forget. But I should have let the members of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Keon correct them about the misinformation spawned about my ministry. In this age of technology, it would be easy enough, Servant Ian Patches Liburd, to check and verify that I, the evangelist, spoke in Antigua before 6,000 people in 2006. Servant Minister Ian Patches Liburd, Governor General here, Baldwin Spencer here, and then yours truly. All the ministers of government after me. But guess what? I fell victim to the enemy. So I hope you don't fall prey or victim to the illusion, because that's what it would be of me defying you when I say that from now on, in this tempestuous political atmosphere, I'll say of you and Team Unity, as I say of Jesus, as an evangelist, less of me and more of thee. Minister Servant Ian Patches Liburd, I heard something today that gave me cause for pause. I want 2 minutes to address it, because they said people are messing up against us, and they name them. Servant Ian Patches Liburd, the sword of Damocles hangs precariously over their head.
Do that in 30 seconds, my brother. Could you?
As I see the visible messing of diverse and conflicting factions vaunting themselves against the elect of God, because make no mistake about it, we are a God-ordained government, I chuckle, because it was not by might nor by power that we triumph.
Yes.
We had neither government coffers nor power according to human agencies to advance our cause. But we had something more. We had a silent and invisible helper. Oh, it's not by might nor by power, but it's by my spirit. Thus saith the Lord. And I want to tell everybody that no man needs despair whose helper is omnipotent. I close by referencing 2 Kings 35 as a timely warning of admonition to those folks while the golden door of probation stands ajar. The way it's shaping up, it's going to be brother against brother, and I love them. It's going to be a civil war. At this stage, guess what? Sheep on the right, goats on the left. By their bleat, ye shall know them, folks. Sharpen your ears and eyes. By their fruits, ye shall know them. Sorry about the mixed metaphor. I will tell you in verse 35. It says, when the Assyrians massed against Judah, it says that night, the angel of God went out and put to death 185,000 of the Assyrian army. And when they got up, dead bodies were everywhere. That's over 3 times the population of St. Kitts and Nevis put together. That's not enough for an angel's night work, folks. We safe. Good evening, folks.
Good evening, my brother. Thanks for your input. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Patrick.
How is
Liburd.
King? How
Now,
is People's King?
Yeah, let me explain something, right? I think the public have a right to know if the statement will come from the former Prime Minister about the Honorable Sam Kondo. The people have a right to know because you see them in many places, hugging up, talking, sitting together and everything. So he needs to come as a representative of the Unity Party and let the public know what Dougie is saying is not so. You know, people have a right to know. It's taxpayers paying him under this unity government. So you have a right to tell the people them something. You know, just fair. So when people saying, well, they don't believe this and they don't believe that, you understand me? He have an obligation to the party, the Prime Minister, and the members of the cabinet who send him up to New York at the UN and let them know, well, boy, I'm no longer interested and I think I'm going with Dougie again. But what they must realize, you know, when Sam remained here, the Jerry put him up to jump ship, you know.
Okay, my brother.
And now the two of them is back with it. You see, so, but you know, Dougie is a man with revenge. You understand me? He is a man with revenge. So what the cat game they're playing, Dougie just making a fool out of them. You understand me? But it's not sounding good for this good party of ours here and the Prime Minister and his cabinet and the rest elected officials and the rest ambassadors and them. Patches, I'm not going to take up no more time. I had many more to say, but it was a kind of rough getting in tonight. But God bless you. Continue the good work you're doing.
God bless you as well, my dear brother.
God works in a mysterious way his wonders to perform. Because you see, all of our people are back on board tonight from here in St. Paul. I can say with pride, some kind of back on board. Heal I! Love I! Heal I! Love I!
If Sam goes back with Wicked Douglas reads this message, well, I really don't know what to say because Douglas ain't had anything good to say about Sam the last election. Well, Sam forgot. No, I don't think so. I will watch and listen. Reads this message. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Hey, me again, Patches.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to a program there the other night there, and I think it was Douglas Watley was on the air. And listening to him, one get the impression that there was something amiss with the unity when they first got together, and he spoke about money. No, I don't believe these politicians should come clean. I believe that if there was a problem or there is a problem involving funds, then probably the matter should go to the court. They shouldn't allow us, because to me I see it as fooling me as far as I'm concerned. You come on, you want me to vote unity. You vote unity. Then suddenly now you begin to say all these things about unity, and you blame it all other members of the party. It all kind of, well, I just start over. Just saying the way I got it. If money is involved, we, the voters, shouldn't be guessing. They should come clean, take them out of the court, and allow us, the voter, to be the judge. Because you can't have people back and forth. 1 minute you come out and you say labor is terrible, and then another minute now you come and say that I heard him say that of the two leaders, Douglas is the better leader. When Douglas become the better leader, because something went wrong or something happened that you didn't like, you can have the voters shifting this way and shifting that way. I believe that a man has a right to vote on a bandwagon. If you want to jump on another bandwagon, you jump on it. But then what about me, the voter now? Then because you jump off, I suppose you jump off with you too. It doesn't work so. That's why you see, I can remain where I am. I can always vote where I supposed to vote. Because I can't have people, you move to another constituency because you live there, and you vote for this individual, and then suddenly the individual decides to jump ship and then go back to where he was, if indeed that is the case. So then the voters now must jump ship and go with him. It can't work so.
Okay.
Huh?
Got you, my brother. Got you, Lord.
It can't work so. And that's you see, I'm very skeptical about politicians. I can't be jumping all over the place because you decide things ain't work out good for you.
Okay.
You know? Douglas was this bad man that they claim Douglas to be. And all of a sudden now Douglas become this good person.
Okay.
And you can't, politicians shouldn't have people like a yo-yo.
Okay.
And that's totally unfair. So if there is something wrong with the Unity Party when it started and whatever happened to these people to jump ship, then I believe that they should come clean with the electorate. I believe they should do that.
Okay.
Don't begin to speculate and saying this, and you don't want to say that, and got people going back and forth.
Okay, got you.
And like I said, and quickly, I know you have to go quickly. If Sam Conda really jump ship, he owe it to the electorate to come clean and tell us.
Okay.
Anyway, Pastor, thanks for your time.
Thanks for your input as well, my brother. I'm sorry about that, my brother.
I would not for one moment seek to diminish any good that Dr. Douglas has done during his stewardship, nor should we overlook what I have previously characterized as the flawed management and reproachable leadership. It is my judgment, my humble view, my humble judgment, and the judgment of many, many other critics and divisions at home and abroad, that he has failed us, all of us, in irredeemable ways. At this juncture, it is my considered view that he's bad for the country.
Yes, bad for the country. We'll take a few more calls. I want to guide you all by the rules of brevity. Caller, I'm going to give you 30 seconds. I'm out of time.
That is.
I must commend the Senator, I must commend her. Because people for years was complaining about the abandoned land, especially the old Batcher project. With the lot of tree overgrown trees and all kind of things. Even a lady, she said thanks. Because she said she go open the shop a little later now. Because the two parts of land was surrounded by bush. You understand? And people put the proposal to her as the next representative coming in the future. And she really listened to the call.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, then,
thank you very much. Now, caller, can you use 30 seconds?
Yes, Mr. Minister.
Yes, sir. I'll give you 30 seconds. I'm running out of time.
I have to agree with Mr. Rock and the last caller, right? Because you cannot have people back and forth from one party to the next party. And let us try to take a proportion of what is happening. If the honorable Sam Conda want to be a man, let him come to the public and tell the people exactly what he decided to do. Because everybody in this country love him very much, and the way that he was treated by Dr. Douglas, it's unfair for him to say, well, he gave up unity and got up to Douglas to get more ill treatment. And it is not very nice. Mr. Rock made it plain and simple. Let him come to the nation and tell the people what is what and what's going on.
Okay, got you.
Because he was a Minister of Foreign Affairs, and he was treated very badly by this year Dr. Douglas.
Okay.
And the honorable Nancy, who is Premier of Mayors, took it upon himself and make it ambassador and send him off to America to do a good job.
Okay.
And he's doing it.
Okay,
got you. People. Have a good night.
Have a good night as well. I'm going to take these two last calls. The caller, I'm really going to stick to 30 minutes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Honorable Patrick.
How about that?
I see don't you tongue boys traveling to the back there. You pull on my friend house, right? And up to now, you ain't doing nothing about it.
Okay.
And the dust and the road is doing me up. And I want a red flag. Okay. Because it does do me up, and me want a white one. Okay. I want a red one.
Okay, man.
And you have a good evening. And the people, when I call in on the show, please to stop disturbing me, because when I got to work hard for my money, explain to what you want. Okay. I want by drugs and coke, what you want on the radio. Okay. Have a good night.
Have a good night, my dear. Beloved caller, you're live. Hello, caller. Okay, I'll take this and make this my penultimate call. Caller, you're live.
Hey, Patches, good evening.
Good evening, my dear brother.
Man, I missed most of the show. I just woke up when Enver was speaking. I saw him today too. So.
And we're out of time.
What you said, Patrick?
We're out of time.
I know, yeah. I'm glad it was getting. I just woke up, man. When Enver was speaking, so I missed. Your show don't replay. You don't have any replay in your shows, right? You need to have that, like what thing have nice, you know. Anyhow, just quickly.
There's going to be rebroadcasts of tonight's show on Wednesday evening at 5 p.m. at Voice of the Caribbean Radio.
Voice of the Caribbean, I've never about
at www.voiceofthecaribbean.net.
Okay, I try to get that because I missed the whole show. But let me say something.
It's on Facebook as well.
Yes, quickly and get up. I heard this thing that Denzel was talking about, Wyatt Rack and Sam, but I don't believe there's no way in life. Sam, I always have respect for Sam like I respect for you. Sam don't have a lack of respect for himself. He could go back on the Douglas and so-called labor. It's impossible. Otherwise, our people are finished with. Okay? You're fighting so hard. Everybody don't care what happened. You guys are not talking the things you're doing. The things you got to talk what you're doing and what you have done. But if Sam did that, is Sam an island? I would like to see him. Is he an island? Do you know, Patches?
I'm not aware, quite frankly.
Patches, there is no way Unity going to lose an election in Think It. I'm pretty much finished with the place, but they need to come and say what this man is saying is wrong. Sam needs to step up. But if Sam is an island, I want to go talk to Sam, okay? And like I say, I know Sam Donkey is traveling to Bosnia when he come visit with Zambo Heat, okay? There's a lot of things I know. Sam cannot do that. He have to have some self-respect and stand for himself. I got to see Sam. It's impossible, okay? Never it could happen. Never in your life would a man lose such self-respect. I know you gotta go. Patches, have a good one. I'll talk to you Thursday night. I mean, this is a kleptocrat government he had. Do you see what went on? How could somebody come and tell me that Sam gone on the Douglas and so-called Labor, the Labor Mafia Party? Are you kidding me? What? And Patches, we'll talk, man. I'm gonna check that show.
Right.
You said Caribbean Radio, right?
Yes, Caribbean Radio, voiceofthecaribbean.net.
Patches,
yes,
thank you for all you're doing, and God bless you. You give us back our dignity. You give us back our freedom of expression. The people think it was trampled down. Thanks to you. You don't play the grammar school game. You stand up for the people. And may God bless you. And there is no way Sam Conda, I have to hear Sam Conda say that. Never. The guy is a fascist dictator, that boy Denzel. Are you kidding me? You want another Haiti? What's wrong with your people? Are you sick? Anyhow, Patches, let me go. I know you gotta go. Have a good evening.
Gotta go. I'm out of time, my Straight Dog family. And that's the way we're gonna end it. We can't believe it. Maybe, as the Prime Minister said, it's Douglas
doesn't
strategy.
care about anyone but himself. And he will tell any lie to get to the end. You know, at time we had an interesting talk. And Douglas told me that I was too honest. I said, but I couldn't tell the man the lie there. He said, a lie is a strategy. That is what he sees lies at. A strategy.
A lie is a strategy. That's Douglas. The High Court judge called him a stranger to the truth. The Jamaica Observer referred to him as being deceptive. It's the same old Douglas, the same old party, same old policies. How can we go back there, my Straight Dog family? The upcoming general elections in St. Kitts and Nevis will be one of the most important in the history of our beloved federation. Never before had there been a one-term government. Never before have there been a one-term prime minister in St. Kitts and Nevis. And never before has any government performed as well as Team Unity has done in its first term, my Straight Dog family. And the general consensus is straightforward. And everybody says, my Straight Dog family.
Good evening to you, Patches, and good evening to your listeners, home and abroad. One good term deserves another. And like I said, one good term deserves another.
Yeah, that's where we're going to end it, my Straight Dog family, because my time is done and I've got to run. I want in the process, though, to thank Almighty God for guiding our conversation tonight, and as always, I want to thank you, the many callers, some of you who couldn't get in. I just don't know what to tell you, but try, and try again. I want to thank those on our Facebook Massive, those on whatever medium you listen tonight. I want to thank you. Those who send emails, remember all of you, every single one of you are the ones who make Straight Talk. And for that reason, I say a big, big thank you. I'm Ian Patches Liburd, and God's willing we'll connect on Thursday for another edition of Straight Talk. And remember, my Straight Talk family, whatever you might conceive, that you will achieve, but you first got to believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light. Thank Him for taking you through the night. And my Straight Talk family, keep moving on. So enjoy what's left up tonight. Until we connect, have yourself the best of what's left. My Straight Dog family. Bye-bye. Until we connect again, keep moving on.
When I wake in the morning, I thank God for the morning light. Give Him thanks and praises for taking me safely through the night. For the rest of food and loving care, and for my mother's breath of life that's got me here. So whatever my mind conceive that I will achieve, you better believe, 'cause I do the things I should be to my brethren kind and good, the best I could. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. Down on my knees, to the Lord I kneel and pray, with my heart and soul, beg Him to take me through each day. My guardian to keep and my guide over every step I take, He will preside. So whatever my mind conceive that I will achieve, you better believe, because I do the things I should, be to my brethren kind and good, the best I could. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. Now I'm on my way with strength and courage from above. No man I'll fear, since God protects me with His love. Strong, pure and true, and so sincere, 'cause my knees I'll always stay to the Lord in prayer. So whatever my mind conceive that I will achieve, you better believe, because I do the things I should, be to my brethren kind and good, the best I could. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on, I gotta reach the top somehow. I'll keep